that's going to be a much more important part of our business in the years to come. Are the transfers. We were able to buy a couple of transfers, but also a couple of players, but we also were able to sell a couple of players. And in this case, those were quite big players for us. There was Irving Lozano, who left for Napoli, and Steven Bergwijn, who left for the Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur. So that gained us a lot. And the selling of them minus the buying of them and ended up in a plus of 22 million, which helped us, have a small profit last season. But this season is going to be, I think, totally different ball game, because we were able for this season to sell all season tickets, even though people are not sure if they could actually come and visit the game. So that's going to be quite interesting what's going to happen this year. But if we can't offer them games this year and still can't offer them games next year, well, we are all quite frightened to see what happens next, because that would mean that people won't buy season tickets anymore. And that's a very important part of our business. So we are thinking about a shortage of 20 million rather than 7 million to start with.
If and what we would like you to work on whilst we're doing this interview, imagine you're being in the same position as Eli and you're working for a club like PSV. How would you generate income in times of COVID, and how would you describe, or how can you work on the on your fan engagement if fans can't attend the matches? So how do you keep them engaged? How do you keep them engaged with your brand as a football club? If you can combine those answers into one big answer in the conversation box, then we'll go through them at the end of this session. Eli, can I just talk a little bit about COVID in this case?
Yeah.
So what have been the COVID measures from, let's say, the Dutch government on football?
Well, obviously, firstly, the government asked everybody to stay at home and closed down restaurants, closed down, well, pretty much everything apart from shops, supermarkets, stuff like that. And obviously the competition was stopped as well. So that was quite big, obviously. And from that moment onwards, as a club, we were thinking about what to do, because our primary product is football entertainment. We weren't able to bring that to our consumers, to our fans anymore. But we, as a club, we also have a responsibility, because we have a huge reach among people in the country and abroad. We have a huge reach in businesses and the business network environment. So what we did, together with a couple of sponsors, we started a new program which was called PSV We Stand Together. It was a program through which we helped people to go through the COVID period together. So we were very much pushing on three themes. Firstly, stay home, obviously, stay healthy, and stay, how do you call it in English? Stay connected. Stay, think about other people, stay involved. So those are the three pillars we were focusing on, and we started creating this platform, which was all about, activating those themes. So we started creating fitness videos together with players and our fitness staff. We started creating recipes, healthy recipes, together with our supermarket partner, for example. But also, lots of people lost their job during the last couple of months. So together with our training partner, Good Habits, which is an online training platform, we offered the whole platform to the followers of PSV for free. So everybody could and train for other stuff, for new different kinds of jobs maybe. We went to housing of elderly to drop lots of tablets over there together with our telecom partner, so they could interact with their family. All that stuff we did. Players and technical staff started writing letters and get well soon cards. Well, it was very impressive to see what the power of club is actually during those dark days, and how we can actually activate our network, not only our followers and our supporters, helping them, but also our business partners, and make sure that they are connected and they get through the storm together.
So that's very much playing on the community, if you want, but also making sure that your stakeholders are still relevant, even if
still relevant, but also still there. We needed to play our part to make sure they get through the crisis, because if they don't get through the crisis, they won't be sponsoring us next year. So obviously, it's also in our own interest. But we have we actually, our business club, our business network, is the biggest business network of the southern part of the country. So we have a huge reach, and we were actually able to help companies to get connected and make new deals, or to get some advice, stuff like that.
With regards to, because at one point I back into the stadium.
Yeah. Yeah, it was quite.
How did you manage that?
Well, during the summer, and it was quite unexpected, I have to say, but during the summer, the government changed some rules, and actually we were able to organize events again, but with a maximum capacity, based on the rules and regulations that are well known in the country. So that's 1.5 meters distance, social distancing. That's younger people. They didn't have to distance, so because they were kids, so they could stay together. Households can come together, and that way we were able to actually seat around 7,000 people in the stadium again during games. So what we did, we had a couple of friendly games. We normally have during the summer. That's always the case. A couple of friendlies. I think a couple of 2 or 3, 4 games, and 6,000, 7,000 people each visited those games. And then the competition actually started, and we were able again to host 7,000 people for one home game, and then the rules were reversed again. So now there's empty stadiums again. But we were, for a short period of time, able to host the 7,000 people again. Yes.
How does that? I'm going to include Haroon's question here, as in, what plans does the club have to allow spectators back in to watch live games, and what challenges has the stadium management team faced in trying to plan for spectators after COVID? How does that work? I'm going to add a little bit to that. How does that work with, for example, management of crowds? Well, if you can talk. Yeah. And also from a sustainable point of view, financially, is it actually worth opening your stadium for 6,000-7,000 people when your capacity is 35,000? Is it worth it, or is it actually,
Yeah, there's actually a couple of things to take into account. Firstly, well, the good part is that from those people who were able to come and visit PSV, we all know who those people are, right? So they're season ticket holders. To be able to have those 27,000 people over the course of a whole year, for example, to come over to a game, we were able to host like 4 or 5 games per person. So with your season ticket, you would be able to come over 5 times, for example. Part of the deal is that we introduced new season tickets in March or May, I guess, to make sure people would stay on. And there was the 50-50 deal. And it means that they only had to pay 50% of their season ticket worth beforehand, and 50% of the rest after the season if we were able to organize enough games for them. And the minimum is 9 games. And if we weren't able to organize 9 games, they would get back, then they wouldn't have to pay that 50%. So that's it. But if we would organize less than 9 games, so actually just 1 game, so that it's 0 or 9, and if it's just 1 game, we won't be having to pay the rest of the money back. So it's from that point, from that perspective on, it's very important for us that people are actually able to come over, because otherwise we'll have to pay a lot of money back. That's first. Secondly, we already know who those people are. So when it comes to tracking and tracing, when there's a COVID case in the stadium, we actually know who's sitting next to those people, in front of those people, or behind those people. So that's very nice for us. For example, the Feyenoord, which is another big club in the country, they have just a couple of seats on registered seats, and the rest you can pick your own seat when you come walking in. So so they really don't know who's sitting where, and we do. So that's a big difference. Another thing which is quite nice for us is that we are in Eindhoven. Eindhoven is part of the Brainport region, and we like to call ourselves the smartest region of the world. And that's actually true, because the most inventions are done here in this region, and the most patents are also awarded in this region. So there's lots of high-tech companies here in our region. It's called the Silicon Valley of Europe. It has to have the same weather, and it doesn't look as nice as it does, as Silicon Valley does, but still it's called that way. And so we have a lot of technical startups around here. And one of them is actually a startup which is all about a corona detection bracelet. Well, it's not a corona detection bracelet, but it's a corona bracelet that if you wear it and you have COVID and you go to the doctor and you're registered as a COVID patient, people in your surrounding also wearing the bracelet will get a message. An alarm would go off. And we were about to test this with the 7,000 to 8,000 people coming to our next game, to hand them over the bracelet and to check if it would actually work to track and trace the people that were in the surroundings of that or near that person. But actually the game that we wanted to do there was cancelled already. Or at least the game wasn't cancelled, but it was cancelled for people coming over.